Peter Obi, who is the NDC presidential candidate for 2027. And his brother, Kenneth Okonkwo, had a good relationship. During the last election, he was one of the spokespersons of Peter Obi, and it was going around stomping for Peter Obi on TV. So shortly after Peter Obi lost the 2023 elections, they started falling out, and Kenneth Okonkwo started going on TV and saying things about Peter Obi. And when they all joined the ADC coalition, it appears that the relationship got better. But now that Peter Obi decanted to NDC, he's now back on Kenneth Okonkwo's radar and has been going at it, saying all sort of different things about him to basically paint him as a corrupt politician. It's obvious to everybody Peter Obi is one of few Nigerian politicians that you can't really pinpoint any criminal issue with. He was never accused of stealing funds from his state when he was the governor of Anambra State. He was never accused of awarding contract to his family and friends. So everything he did by the book. He's tried to stay away from anything that appears like corruption. So Mr. Okonkwo coming out and talking about how Peter Obi is allegedly collecting 10 million naira from the people running under the platform. It's damaging to his reputation. We know Obi is a billionaire in dollars, and 10 million is not going to change anything that he's been doing over the years. He's been given to different schools and he's been going out supporting people, and this is just tarnishing his image. And I'm sure a lot of Nigerians can see past Mr. Okonkwo's allegations, but at the same time, I think the attacks are getting too much and it is to stop if he doesn't have any proof to support all of his claim. What do you think?
Yeah, I think by suing him, I think he did the right thing. But a lot of people think that he's not supposed to because he's a spokesman when he ran in 2023. But it looks like at some point you really have to make a scapegoat out of someone. But it's unfortunate that he's using a Kenneth Okonkwo as a scapegoat. Saw him. I mean, Reno Mokre was in the same position as Kenneth Okonkwo. Reno Mokre was disparaging him, made a whole lot of allegations, defamed him, and then when he sued Reno Mokre, ever since that time, I think Reno Mokre stopped. Deja Adeyanju, I think he hasn't really learned his lesson because he sued Adeyanju. I think they settled out of court. But any opportunity that Adeyanju gets to sit down for interview, he's always at it again. I think I'm in support of him suing Kenneth Okonkwo. Like I said, it's unfortunate, but you cannot just make blatant lie when you already know that what you're saying is not, there is nothing close to truth to it, and you just present it as fact or as truth. In fact, I didn't watch the entire episode. I only watched the snippet, but he was talking as if he was present when the whole thing happened. I mean, I think this is a lesson to all the political commentators, spokespersons, to candidates, whether presidential candidate, governorship, or any level for that matter. I think they should stick to discussing issues instead of trying to, discuss people or disparage people. Every opportunity these people get, they use it. They make sure that they utilize it very well to launch attack on Peter Obi. He's literally not the only candidate. I mean, I have never seen any of them sit down, whether it's Daniel Buwala, whether it's Adeyanju, whether it's Eshowore, whether it's Atiku, whether it's any of them for that matter. I have never seen any of them sit down to have a conversation, and they just stick to the conversation without looking for a way to veer off, to insert a Peter Obi into that conversation. Well, I guess publicity, any kind of publicity is good, whether it's good or bad. I think they are helping him, announce himself to the world without even spending a dime. But, I think Kenneth Okonkwo should, exercise some restraints. Sometimes the way he talks, I know he gets paid for it, and he's also hustling for an appointment in case his principal win. So, but I mean, in the course of doing that, let us also remember that there will always be life after election or after any position for that matter. It's not enough reason to defame or throw your brother under the box.